My life's passion has always been flowers and gardening and growing a vegetable garden.
Alicia is a 36-year-old mom from New Hampshire.
From the outside, I was a perfectly healthy individual, working out. I was taking vitamins. I was on no other medications my entire life, never broken a bone, never had a stitch.
But in 2022, just before her daughter turned 1, everything changed.
I have innumerable lung lesions, and I have a grapefruit-sized tumor on my liver.
At first, her symptoms felt like nothing more than the normal ups and downs of early motherhood.
I had experienced postpartum body changes, which are absolutely normal. However, I noticed an increase in feeling nauseous, headaches, lack of appetite, even though I was nauseous and trying to manage that, fatigue, and upper abdominal pain in the right upper quadrant. I believed that these changes were due to hormonal changes with, being in a postpartum realm or increased stress from my career.
She had just started a new job, balancing the pressures of work and motherhood. The fatigue and the pain all made sense, until it didn't.
One day, my husband finally said, I think it's time for you to go to the ER and get checked out. This just doesn't seem right. But as most people do, especially parents, we tend to put ourselves last. And I kind of just kept pushing off my symptoms and again, chalking it up to stress and hormones. I worked from home until about noon, drove myself to the ER, went in, and was immediately guided into scans by physicians who believed me and held me and didn't push off my symptoms. And I'm really grateful for that. That's a story that we hear a lot, is that young, healthy individuals go to the hospital and their symptoms are just shoved off to the side. They immediately sent me in for scans after palpating my abdominal region, and you could actually see almost a raised area over the liver. Scans led to additional scans in different types of machinery, and I could tell by how quickly things were moving and that I was being shuffled around that there was something gravely wrong. And when the physician came into the room, I could tell that he was really trying to keep it together.
The doctor asked if she wanted to call someone before hearing the results, but Alicia said no.
I kind of just went with, lay it on me, what's going on. And unfortunately, they did have to tell me that they could see three masses on my liver, one about the size of a grapefruit, two smaller ones about the size of golf balls, and many, many small nodules in my lungs. From there, drove myself home, calling my husband and my mother frantically to meet me at my house and pick up my daughter from daycare. It'll never be a day that I forget, sitting in the backyard about 5 o'clock as my husband held me, and we just broke down on the ground and cried.
Within days, her doctors confirmed the diagnosis: stage 4 cholangiocarcinoma, a rare and aggressive cancer of the bile duct.
I am considered in palliative care. They consider that I will never be cured. I immediately started chemotherapy within a few weeks after, and I have been receiving chemo infusions for 3 years as of early October of this year. Learning of my diagnosis as a very, very new mom and new parent was detrimental. The stress, anxiety, worry, it's exponential. It's very hard to put into words. You're not only worried about yourself anymore, you're worried about this little human in your family and the impacts it's going to have on everyone.
Her search for answers led her online, but the statistics were grim.
All you're reading is cases where people are gone within a few weeks, a few months, less than a year. The grave statistic, which again has to be based on the majority of the population of bile duct cancer, the 5-year survival rate of stage 4 is 2%. That is very, very low. However, the majority of those patients have other health issues and are older. But that's not something that you realize when you're up Googling your new cancer diagnosis at 2 a.m. I did not think, with the rarity and aggressive nature of my cancer, that I would still be here today. So in a position of where I was in my mental space when I was diagnosed was a very bad place. as a parent. I immediately went to, I'm not going to be here in a couple years. I need to get everything settled, wills, accounts, estates, trusts, everything, just to make sure that she's all set because I'm not going to be here.
But Alicia is still here, and her outlook on life has changed completely.
I have always been an extremely confident individual. I will say that cancer has changed so much about my life. It changed the way I thought I would see my future as a mother, as a wife, as a friend, as a daughter in my community. It changed my appearance. I did lose all my hair. My hair actually still falls out every chemo that I have every 2 weeks. So I'm not completely bald, but I do lose my hair. A little bit grew back. I don't really have any eyebrows. As a woman, and especially in the society we live in where looks are so much of a factor, I just lean into myself and my own confidence in that beauty is with the eye of the beholder. And when you exude confidence and you love yourself, people just gravitate to you and they just feed on your energy and they feel it. And I'm a big proponent of that. I just really believe in authenticity, being yourself, and really letting your soul shine. And, wearing my heart on my sleeve, people gravitate and love you for you and not hopefully your appearance. 3 years on down the line, I'm able to tell you that tomorrow is promised to no one. And I am still here and so grateful for that. Every day is a blessing, and I live in a much different capacity of living for today and in the moment. I still have those worries and I still do a lot of planning as being a bit of a type A person, but we find joy in every day and we take all of the issues as they come, and we navigate them together as a family. I am a much better parent. Having been diagnosed with cancer, I am more patient. I am more kind, more giving. I honestly think that the positive aspects and the way it will change my daughter's life, I hope will outweigh the negative for her someday. I really do. Having someone in your life that has cancer or any type of illness or hardship makes you a kinder individual. And I really hope that that's the type of person that she is in this world.
Through treatment, Alicia found both strength and connection. A Facebook group became her lifeline.
We do have a subgroup that we created right after my diagnosis of young mothers with cholangiocarcinoma. So mothers with children 18 and under. And there's only about 40 of us, and that has been instrumental in getting me through some of my toughest days. Having the camaraderie of other mothers who also share your diagnosis.
As Alicia learned to live with cancer, she started calling herself something new, a unicorn.
I am in the same standard line of care treatment that I was at the beginning. I've had one small change, and that is unheard of in most people's cancer journeys. With cholangiocarcinoma, most cancers, by now, I would be on a different chemo. It would no longer work for me, but especially cholangiocarcinoma. It mutates so quickly, and people run out of options so quickly. 3 years into diagnosis, I know my body almost like a book. I know when I'm not feeling well. I know what's normal and what's not.
Cancer may have taken away her career, but it also gave her more time to focus on what fills her cup at home.
I'm so lucky for that. I never thought I would have as much time with my daughter. So double-edged sword here again. I'm the luckiest unlucky person. Cancer affects me in many ways, and I'm not lucky to have it. However, it has also blessed me in many ways, and one of those is that I'm able to spend so much time with my daughter, way more than I ever would have been able to spend if I was still working full-time. I am part of a project, a foundation, a nonprofit called Growing with Kindness, and the purpose is to grow flowers and give them away. I did this before cancer, before the pandemic, before becoming a mother, and it has given me the most purpose in my life. It's just beautiful. And the increased purpose it has given me is that I primarily give flowers away now, and in my oncology infusion center. They welcomed me with open arms, their family and friends, and they let me put up a little station right by the front desk. And I put a sign out every year that says, growing kindness flowers from patient Alicia. And I put little bouquets out, and oncology patients and their family or staff bring them home with them. I'm able to spread not only my passion, I'm able to spread joy. We also try to give flowers out at the grocery store, at the post office, in our small town, at the farmer's market, to our neighbors, to our friends. And my 4-year-old daughter, she'll remark, oh, I think we should really give so-and-so flowers. They're really sad. And I'm just so proud of that. It's just the type of human being I want to raise. What I want my daughter to most take from this experience as she grows is to live with intent and to spread joy and kindness. Again, I think the waves in our village and our community that we make by just being kind to each other are so important. And I don't ever want her to forget how she can change the world with one small action. It's not all doom and gloom having cancer. There are horrible days, but there are wonderful days. And I hope that she takes the feeling of joy that she experiences with me and pushes that forward in the kindness that she spreads throughout her life.
If you liked this story, we've queued up another one right here on your screen. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button for the patient story so you're among the first to learn about all the stories that come here on our channel. For now, I'm Stephanie Trong with The Patient Story, where we give human answers to your cancer questions.